Welcome to the JMark Business Innovation Technology Experience.
Welcome, world, to another episode where we're going to talk about some fun and exciting things. Today we have James Schmidt here from JMark. James runs the what do you call yourself? The automation and proactive team?
Proactive and health team.
Proactive and health team. Oh, that sounds way better. But they do lots of automation too. And James is here because he's been involved in a massive number of audits and assessments for many different types of organizations and their networks. And what we've kind of found over the years, we found some really surprising things when we've gone into companies and looked at their networks. And it's really interesting to find some of these things. And we want to make sure today that people listening, this isn't about scaring you and making you worry about crazy things that can happen in your network, because we have that every day. I mean, everybody reads the news, the security alerts that go out all the time. There's breaches all the time. But hopefully our discussion today will kind of enlighten everyone's mind to some of the things that can be going on in a business that business owners or leaders may not even know about, or could be happening just because people are too busy and not looking. So why don't we get started with this and start off with, James, what are a few of the top things you've seen in network audits that kind of were surprising to, I guess, both us and the businesses?
Yeah, there's a lot, and even I want to hit on technology moves so fast. Every day you're having to understand a new best practice for that specific tool, new configuration. And so a lot of what we see in these assessments is team members not being able to, in these companies, not being able to keep up with these best practices and configurations. I think one of the biggest pieces that I always look at is patch management. Most clients always think that's such an easy piece, and when you're dealing with such complexity, it's easy to be overwhelmed when you don't have proper systems in place and proper processes in place within that organization. And so, we could spend a whole time just talking about patch management for Microsoft alone, let alone third-party patching for other line of business apps. So that's probably the one biggest thing that I always look at is patch management. What is your Microsoft patch management program doing, and how good is it? Because I can pretty much hit on that every time, and it's going to be huge to go ahead and revamp.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute then. It's so true when we've done these audits that it's not a few patches that we've seen out of date. It's generally thousands of patches. And when you think about it, across an organization, you have different devices, potentially different operating systems. It is, like you said, it's extremely complex to manage patch management. And but the number of patches, while it does open you up to more problems, it only takes how many? One to kind of screw you?
Yeah, just one. And you look at people spend millions of dollars on security, and what do the hackers look for? If you actually looked at some of the pieces that have been released over the last couple of years, is they're not looking for some complex piece to get in your network. Is I need one vulnerability within that to get into your system and to wreak havoc. So what does it mean to make sure that patch management system is up to date every time a security patch is released? That's a lot of work when you're dealing with, let's say, 100 to maybe 1,000 endpoints with different connections. People look at what we're doing right now. I'm working remote due to everything that's going on in the world right now with COVID, and I have a different connection. It's funny, we were talking earlier in another meeting. I'm tethered great technology. But if patches are trying to be pushed to my machine, is my tethered line going to accept those patches? That's just one endpoint out of 1,000 potentially in an enterprise environment. How susceptible are we in our different environments? So that's huge around that.
It also gets even more complicated because the different patch management systems out there, whether it's just Microsoft or whether they're using third-party patch management systems, they often give you different results that can leave you with a false sense of security. One auditing system might show it's up to date. Another system might show you're behind by many patches. And then on top of that is you have the internal debates about what patches are important and when they should roll out. Some people say you shouldn't roll out patches right away. Some people say you should. And so I can see a business owner and an IT person going, why are we behind? Well, we aren't behind. We're totally fine. And well, this report says we're 3,000 patches behind. And well, no, that's right, because we haven't gone there yet.
Wow.
What's the balance?
There's one word I have in that is expectations. And you'll talk to certain business owners that are sometimes more involved in the IT, and their expectation is everything is patched. I said, perfect. I can patch everything perfectly. Give me a team of 25 and I'll make sure every machine is patched the moment that comes out. Now we talk about realistic in our business and how this affects the profitability in our organization as an external client of how much can you do, what's realistic as things are released, what is our automated system, because you're even correct in each system reports differently. Part of the function of my team as the proactive health team is I do have an automation team, and we've spent the last couple of months revamping our patch management system because you always find different nuances depending on the software that you're using. So how is it reporting so it says, hey, I am missing something, and then goes and patches that? So you always have to even understand the changes in the systems as it updates, because they start using different tables in the database to really reflect something different in that system. And that's complexity that you're layering in beyond the patching that a lot of business owners aren't taking into effect when they're saying, I'm going to take on the IT realm. And instead of utilizing a MSP like JMark is to really focus, and that's what we do. That's our core competency. I love the word core competency because that's what I do every day. This is in my wheelhouse. And this is how we patch systems, or look when we go in to do an assessment and saying, wow, not only is you're not using proper software, but you're also not reporting back. Who knows what's going on in that system? Oh, there's no reporting. Okay, we need to get you reporting so you at least know the risks that you're taking on in your organization, because a big part of it is risk mitigation. And then how does this affect efficiency in my organization as well? So
I think the other thing that, go ahead.
I was just going to ask James, so you just said, you come in and do an assessment. So say that this is the first time that a business owner has had this done and they find what their hidden dangers are. How do they know which they need to prioritize?